to be pragmatic. It's like it's okay to do a mistake. It's like you will literally you will have to do a mistake, and like you can just change the course of the.
The following is a long, open-ended conversation with Mariam Mounir, governance officer at the Central Bank of Egypt. We got a chance to talk many topics like how is life in Cairo, how has been her journey across Africa, Europe, Southeast Asia, the little details and the learnings she has got through her experience and the Masters in Central Banking, and the lessons that she got across all different places. This is On the Lawn with FVR. If you like this thing, feel free to like and subscribe and contribute to the channel in the description below. And now, your featured presentation. 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of On the Lawn with FVR. Today we have Mariam. How are you doing?
How are you?
Thanks for doing this. So, such a beginning of a new year. Right now there is a lot of holidays. Like there is like the Chinese New Year, and then there is the Lunar New Year. There is like an Indian festival going on. Have you been in those places so far?
Not much actually, but like just around the Twin Towers and so on, not far away for this.
I see it. So people may be asking like, which is your background or where you're from, but I guess the most important thing is tell us a little about yourself.
Okay, I'm Mariam from Egypt. I still work at the central bank, but this was for the last 5 years, and I had a previous working experience. It was also at a bank, commercial bank, and for 2 years prior to this, I worked as a customer service representative at one of our networks, telecommunications. This was the hardest time actually because we had this revolution and yes, exactly, like nothing, not many companies were hiring or banks or so on. So I spent 2 years at my first, after graduation, I spent 2 years out of my career a little.
So you're mentioning that that was the time of the revolution.
Yeah, we had the revolution at January 2011. So it was like followed by a lot of chaos and curfews and so on. So not many, was not so much job opportunities. So here we are. So,
Yeah, such a long journey since that 2011, back in the day. Yeah, I remember watching those news as well. Yeah, very different times. So, from Egypt, it can be a very big country, but from which city?
I actually living at the capital, like it's Cairo, but I was born in a city at the south of Egypt. It's called Luxor. Like I know it's famous Luxor and Aswan cruise. Like everyone, I suppose everyone know it. It's the journey that I moved to Cairo since I guess the first grade, and since then I'm still at the same place.
Wow. Now, talking about places, I believe that you were not only in the north side of Africa, but also in other places.
As a countries I visited, okay, I made like 1 Euro trip. I visited about 4 countries. It was France, Italy, and Prague, Czech Republic. And like, actually it was like one night. I don't know how to count it or not, but like it was at last Luxembourg.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, and that was for the time being. And after it, I visited Lebanon. It was like a very nice place to visit. Also, after everything that has happened, before everything has happened there, they also had a more recent revolution there and so on, and then COVID. So not much traveling abroad, but internally.
Now, because of those places, we also happen to recognize singular plates or singular landscapes, which was the landscape that attracted you the most? That was the most unique?
I can say that I cannot get it out of my memory. The place where I did the paragliding activity. It was like a mountain near some place called Harissa in Lebanon. It's like you literally seeing the mountain, the sea from up in the sky. It was unforgettable for me. Um, this is a place I cannot forget. Like if I can add another place, it would be the Vatican actually. Yes.
Wow, that's really impressive. Yeah, many places can be very uh, fun with your memories, as well as the people that is usually around those areas. Now, from your time in the central bank in Egypt, as right now, which has been the most challenging uh, scenario you have faced? Because through our careers, people face decisions.
Um, Actually, one of the one of the challenges one of the challenges I faced like was literally working on my recent job. It's a governance department. It's like every day we are faced with a new challenge, with a new task. Um, Working on regulations and like this all these reforms, like it was not every time we talk to for example a compliance manager in a bank or something. He tells me like we were not used to all this stuff that's been updated and regulations and so on. Like it was a kind of reform, I believe. It was challenging. It was time consuming a little, but I guess we are doing it the right way or so.
Yeah, that's right. Usually those kind of things takes a while, not only to process at the moment, but the
Yeah,
debriefing that happens
keep
after.
it to keep it followed up by like consistency. Yes.
So, when you were there and from Egypt to here, the Southeast Asia, how was the journey?
It was very nice. Actually, it was very nice. I had like 3 hours transit in Doha, and it was a nice airport. Actually, I cannot say it's a nice city. I didn't have time to see it, but it was a very nice trip. A little long, but a little exhausting, but it was very nice. I can say I enjoyed the place here. It's like full of green areas, full of like beautiful landscapes everywhere. Actually, yes. Aside from the temperature.
Yeah, I have to say that temperature can be a little unforgiving, let alone the humidity. Once you get used to, then you know how to pace yourself across, let's say, times of the day. Sometimes it rains too much, sometimes it rains too little, but
Sometimes the whole day.
oh yeah, sometimes the whole day, or even the holidays. Like right now, it was surprising. Like I literally went to the streets before coming here because a friend was needing some eye drops, and all the pharmacies are closed because they have like a holiday going on. It's also the last days of the Lunar New Year, and the pharmacists say they are not working until Tuesday. So pretty much that's what's going on. In Egypt, do people have a lot of holidays there as well?
Yeah, we have a lot of holidays actually, but like not very much. But it's like two Eids and the New Year and maybe also the Prophet holiday. And like we have a lot, but not for so much time. Like I don't remember. I recall something of 12 days. Like it can happen once, but not every year. Like if it's just between Friday and Saturday, our weekdays off is Saturday and Friday, not like here. So if it's like just as a coincidence, it's happened between this time of the instead of the weekdays, it can be a 10 days vacation, but like not every year it can happen.
Yeah, I'm glad that you're clarifying that because some people may hear, oh, look at that. all of a sudden Mariam is saying that people don't work here in Malaysia. No, no, no,
No,
no,
no,
no,
I'm
no,
not saying this,
no,
of
no, no.
course. They
It's
work.
not that. It's not that. I'm glad you're bringing that up. Yeah, it can be fascinating, especially when you mention the two aids. Like, I'm only familiar with one.
Which one?
I guess it's the Eid Mubarak.
It's both of them. You can
Both
say
of them
the
are.
sentence. Actually, it's like a blessed feast
Ah.
in Arabic, but like it's we have like Eid Fitr after Ramadan and Eid Adha. It's like we used to say in Egypt like it's a big Eid or it's a small Eid.
Ah.
So it's El Fitr is a small Eid, but like and the other one is a big.
So how
So
big is the big Eid and how small is the small Eid?
Actually, I'm not the perfect choice to talk about it like in details.
Oh, okay.
But I would say for me, I know the days of vacation and also something with religious rituals and like all the things and traditions that you do in these days. Like I know for the Eid Adha, it has more days off. And a prayer day, it's called al-waqfa, but I don't know how to say it in English actually, but like it's like the prayer day before the Eid itself. So it makes it as if in the numbers of holiday day, it's larger. And that's it.
Okay, that's very important.
I guess a lot of details can be added in this point. I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
have some full exposure.
Yeah, it's fine. But more important is to be aware of those, because imagine there can be people that are living there and they don't know why the pharmacy is closed, like myself. I didn't know that.
Maybe some Malaysians can say in the comments or something.
Yeah. We invite the people that are there to put the comments. I may read it, I may not read it. That's entirely possible.
I will read it.
Okay. Now, when you were taking the classes here, is the Masters of Central Banking, right? So tell us a little about the program. You end up being a Master of Central Banking, or how is that?
Yeah, we are in the process actually of being a master's in central banking. Yes, the program is very intense, I can say, but very exposing, very like it can make you aware of much more diversified things that I would like to believe that you can work in these departments in your entire career, but like it's not an opportunity for everyone. So by having all this information and exposure for every like monetary policy as of the top priority and every other department, I can recall macroprudential and so on. This is so much information and so much like enlightening. So I enjoyed it so much. It's a bit intense, but at the same time enjoyable.
Okay, now it's time to make some people angry. Which has been your favorite class?
Yeah. Okay, I hope any other professors are not watching, but it's like it's always Roberto, and the second one in time series. It's like when we took the negotiation with Bruno. Professor Roberto give us the applied macroeconomics. It was one of the best also, and also of course the negotiation with Bruno was very enjoyable.
Yeah, Professor Roberto Rigobon was a guest of the show. You can see the episode around here, and I have to say that it was 5 days intense, like a lot of comments. He even was like, look at that, you are from which country? Okay, can you tell us why are you in? And he was recording the other people, like, or he was literally like, it was a show.
Yeah.
But we learned a lot.
Yes, we learned a lot actually, and also for the negotiation it was enjoyable, but most of all it was very of a value added, very something to take it on the personal level. You are very upgrading and along with this week. It was very informative, very value adding actually.
Yeah, and you mentioned the class of negotiation that the central bankers got like 5 days. Like, what did you do with extra days?
As I know from most of the MBAs, like we had I'm sorry, you had extra. Sorry. It's been a long day actually. We had a full day of like groups coaching. I think I recall was extra point, and I'm not sure what what else was the difference between the two programs, the 2 weeks we had. That like because everything I recall, like I share with you guys, you had it already, but I guess it was the most point was the group sessions, group sharing, and it was very special too.
Yeah, that's true. Not only the opportunity to practice what is the BATNA or how to set prices or set expectations, but also how to read other people, how to negotiate not on your behalf but on every other's behalf, or even the ones who are not in the room, self-awareness and other elements that enter into negotiation is something that you feel you need to study more or practice more.
Of course, yes.
And I cannot strongly support this. Like practice as much as you can. If you have the choice to take the Bruno Verdini class, do it. It's just sterling. It's like you need to do it. That's part of the experience. Talking about experiences here in the city of Kuala Lumpur, what has been the experience that got your attention the most?
Um, can I just add something?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Especially for the negotiation class, if I will ever take away any piece of information or like a sentence or a belief that I will continue, it will continue with me in my coming years and so on. I would say 2 days, 2 sentences. Sorry, before we move. Sorry to another question, that I would say to every person like I was enlightened by the point of like how important their perspective is. It's like how to change your perspective, like how to not to keep your whatever in your mind. It's like it will ever be the only right way. It's never a one only right way. It's like always to change the perspective. This point and the other point, which is very on the human level for me, it was very important. Like to be curious, not judgmental. Just because I do not know your story, I might interpret whatever you're doing in a different way, or nah, he is so and he is that. So whenever I am not judgmental, I'm curious, I get to know more about the backstory of everyone or everything. Like not necessarily, of course, but like just be curious, not judgmental. That I needed to mention, to remind myself with it, and even to tell everyone with whoever should do it.
Those are remarkable words that will forever be echoing across the time. Those are actually very beautiful, to be honest.
Thank you.
Now, we were discussing about the experiences that you found in the city of Kuala Lumpur.
Actually, maybe at this point I do not have so much to tell. For me, the program was a little bit intense. I didn't have the time to go around in each and every place, maybe, but I liked the atmosphere here. I liked how it's actually it's a very safe country. For me, that was the most concern I was asking. I was curious about it before I came here. It's a safe country with something very favorable for me as a person. It's like the green areas. It's like whenever you walk in any place, you will find green areas. It's something very beautiful. And like I can have this experience for years. I will not be bored or something. It's very nice. The people here also is very like they are inclusive. Like they are welcoming any person with like a different look or a different race or religion or whatever. I found the place here is a little like this.
Yeah, I agree on that because when I realized that here is a safe country, you can walk in the night and you can rest assured that you don't have to always look back to see someone is following you. No, that doesn't happen. At the same time, and this is a self-critique, such a peaceful land can make you soft. Why? Because you are not exposed to what the real world usually is. You sometimes normalize that what you see here is the entire world. And if you assume that for so long, it can be such a caveat that can be difficult to overcome. I remember there is a friend that has a family, and he literally took his kids to visit Southside Chicago. So they were going to the Dunkin' Donuts and they saw that the people is not nice. They were yelling at each other just to get a cup of coffee. And the kids were like, why people is like that? Because that's sometimes what the real world really is. Sometimes can be very unsafe and you have to be not only strong but also hyper aware that somebody can be following you. Here it feels like a time to pause, reflect, and refit towards your next chapter. That's how I also feel in this case. Such a peaceful way. It's a peaceful land. No be worried about it, but at the same time, be self-aware. Be very self-aware. What can I say?
Yeah, but I would might disagree about a very small thing. It's like it's not a problem for being soft. You can be soft and strong at the same time.
Okay.
That's what I see it in my point of view, because just to put these two words in in a very extreme of the spectrum, it seems for me a little bit not fair, because you actually can have both. You can be strong and you can be soft at the same time. For me here is it's like it's a very peaceful country, but you are still strong. You are still putting all the attention in your past and in your after goals and so on. That's something in every aspect of life. I guess you can be both of them.
I guess that's something I can also support.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a stronger building opinion. And that's the magic of the podcast. That's the magic of the conversation. That all of a sudden you can have two different point of view, and you build upon towards something better. Now, across different places, there are always little details. Which has been the little details that you find here that you don't find in other places?
It's a tough question. I can say I don't know its answer yet. Maybe it will reveal in the next months. Having maybe not being here for so long, just less than 3 months, I guess. But the little detail here is like, as I would repeat myself, it would be the point of feeling safe. And for me, for a girl, it's a very important thing. I'm not saying that my home country is not safe. No, it's very safe actually. Yeah. And yet, the whole difference that literally back in Egypt you can start your day at 9 p.m. Like, hey guys, what we're gonna do? Okay, and for girls okay, you can have 2 hours after it, but for boys, yeah, it's a little bit more open. So I was talking with some friend and colleague, and no, I cannot be in a place where everything that just closes at 10 p.m. or something. Maybe this is a difference from my culture. I face here okay, I need to grab anything I need before 9:30, because at 10 p.m. everything will be closing. Will be shut down. Okay, thank you. And this is not in Egypt. We have Egypt I can, especially in Cairo, I can say it's a 24-hour city. It's always, you will go to any place, you might find it open.
So Cairo is a city that never sleeps.
Actually, you can say this.
Wow, that's powerful. I thought Las Vegas was a city that never sleeps, but
No,
now we
you
have
should
another
come
one.
to Cairo. Yes, not spend much time in Cairo, but there's other places more enjoyable also in Egypt.
Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. Now, as we are going into what is the following months of the year, I understand that you and your colleagues have something coming on towards Cambridge, Massachusetts.
Yeah,
So,
of course.
what are your thoughts about it?
Um, all I can think about is it might be a little tough. I need to change the perspective, by the way, to remind myself, because it's 10 classes, 10 subjects, in exactly 5 weeks. So it like I expect it to be a little intense, yes, but along from this, I will be visiting family, and this is the most waited for me after the program. But for especially the 5 weeks of Boston, I'm very curious to see Cambridge and like the MIT and the campus experience itself. Like I need to enjoy and to make the best of it. Yes.
Mm-hmm. That's true. In your case, you're gonna be like 1 month and a half, 6 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The case for the MBAs was around 4 weeks, and it was like you can arrive before or you can arrive late, and you can stay a little longer, but those are on your per diem, and it was fine. It was fine. Boston was good. Like it
You
was
can
cool.
share a lot of what can be the things that can we not miss. Like what will be the things that I shouldn't miss out there.
So if you have to, okay, you're gonna be likely in February and March. Chances are you're gonna be in a snowstorm, but you are likely also to see the Charles River full of ice.
Okay, I can't
And
wait.
also, I know that there are some music festivals that happen later on. Chances are you're gonna be during the time that the daylight savings is gone, aka the equinox. So you're likely also to experience the equinox right there. And if you never experienced the snow, now is a good time to experience the snow. So you can sometimes you can do balls and throw it away, or you can build a snowball. Literally, you can build a snowball. Although the sudden frozen is real, things like that.
I can't wait actually. It's happening in like less than 3 weeks from now. So I think we are very enthusiastic, very encouraged to go there.
Mm-hmm. That's true. And try to connect with as many professors as possible, as many student chapters as possible, as many people are, or as many companies as possible. Especially because you are not only in Cambridge, but you will also go to New York, right?
Yes, for not much days, it will be just 3 or 4 days at maximum. And also Washington. And like
Ah,
this both cities will be the rest week. So like I said that classes will be during 5 weeks, and the 6th week will be between New York and Washington.
wow,
Yes.
that's that's important. The capital during those days, that can be beautiful. I know that in March or April, I guess, around those days, is because of the Spring Festival. That can also be nice. But yes, it's such a wonderful experience. Talking about experiences and talking about things that usually come goes with you. What is a recipe for life that you can recommend?
Okay, it's a wonderful question. I'm not very expecting it, but it's a very deep question. Actually, I don't want to simply say anything as an answer, but my recipe of life for here and after everything I taught and I learned here also, it's always be humble, and humble is not just like not being bold enough. It's still you can be both of them, and you can be bold, you can be humble. Actually, it's a word that we were just we just listened yesterday actually from former governor of Japan, and yes, it hits the point, and like I can also recall like much pieces of advices from all our professors, and like I can also say that Roberto taught me some very important point, like to be pragmatic. It's like it's okay to do a mistake. It's like you will literally you will have to do a mistake, and like you can just change the course after it. You can just change the way how you how you how you how you tackled it something, how you viewed something, how you acted in a way or another. Like always not to just hold in your opinion and on your view. Yes, this is something I of course we are. I think it will be a learned journey in the whole life for me, and it's like simply mistakes what makes us human, and never be ashamed of your mistakes or fault or whatever. It can be also the curiosity point, not the judgmental mentality, because actually we are all different. But for me, as an old a very old thing that I once read, it's like you, for me I can just celebrate the differences. We can just celebrate our differences, like not to make an enemy of it or something. Um, I have a lot of in my mind, actually, a lot of thoughts I'm still even processing that I would like to keep for a lifetime. And those, some of it.
Mm. Yeah, these are very remarkable because I still can remember that you are gonna do a mistake, but make your mistake, I guess, worthy, or learn from the mistake, or if that's a mistake that happens, make it like it's not as big, so you can overcome quicker.
Yes.
Yeah, and move forward. That's something that I also recall very well. Talking about things that usually you can recall very well. I remember during the last months of last year, a lot of people were talking about the World Cup. So, how was the World Cup experience for you? How did you live the World Cup?
So, work up?
The World Cup, the FIFA World Cup.
Okay. It's a very harsh question for me now, because like the last time I was a very involved in the World Cup, it was 2002 actually. Like, after this, everything is like just going to the work, long hours, and here we were literally facing a finals and the final papers and so on. Like I can say I was just following up with a final match between Morocco and Argentina and France, as I recall. It was like I was literally just uploading my Google page, like, okay, I need to know who won, because for me, from my heart, I was also cheering for Argentina, so I needed to make sure, like, yes, they did it. That it was not much to say and to share, but like I actually hadn't the opportunity to fully enjoy it, and like this is not my plan for the next one. I will make it up for myself, and this was for the World Cup.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
that's very good to hear. Yeah, a lot of people were always following what has been going on. Uh, that's why we didn't have episodes between our last episode and this one, because a lot of things has been going on as well, like papers, or what is final research, or people doing traveling, or guests that cannot make it. But it was it was beautiful. The big final was everything I asked, and then some. And then something that was happy is that I have no problems on my heart, because I survived all the ups and downs, all the feelings. I know that the heart works, the engine works, because otherwise I will not be speaking, because I will be like flat down with my face down the soil, because of so much that I couldn't handle.
Yeah.
So that was maybe one of the good things. I was also happy to see Leo Messi lifting the trophy after so many years and after so many attempts. You mentioned Morocco, and a lot of people
Yeah.
from the Arab world is always telling me this. Even when I was like, sometimes I can look like somebody from the Middle East or
Yeah.
from the north
Me
side
too.
of Africa, and there were some people who approached to me and spoke with me in Arabic, like, "Hey, have you seen Morocco?" And it's like, I only follow Argentina and things like that. So, from your perspective, how was that feeling of following Morocco or hearing about Morocco?
No, actually, it's a neighboring country. It's very very close in so much in the culture and so on. But like I haven't been there, and but like for this point of being mistaken as a person from the Middle East, I can totally agree. Was actually that what I thought when I first saw you in Roberto's class, and yeah, no, I guess it's a beautiful country. It was once on my bucket list actually to visit. Like me and my friends, like we should visit. We should be in Casablanca and so on. Like we should be there to see the beauty of the city.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Those are very beautiful memories, the best memories. And the only thing you can do is build better realities with those memories. Talking about realities, as you are moving forward, what kind of reality are you looking to build for you? Or, well, this can be very wide open.
Yeah. Um, for me, actually, something I've never imagined myself I would be saying. For me, is to continue learning and continue building up experiences and like. But I was just thinking something not very maybe career related. It's not like would be something in the banking or economics. Um, I was just thinking about maybe having to study another master, but it would be in psychology, and added an option recently of the negotiations also. And because it's very related to the psychology, because you're not always talking to the mind, you're talking to the feelings and the emotions of whoever you will be negotiating with or like dealing with in your life. Not necessarily, not at any case, just the minds, but always the hearts. So I was thinking about this vision for the next few years, and yeah, I hope I can do this.
Oh, yes, that's true. The best thing is to try, so then you have the peace of mind that you at least did a step forward to build that reality. Yeah, in my case, also to build a reality that allow me to survive, to be in a better position that I was before, and at the same time, start doing something that can be meaningful. Sometimes I believe about legacies are not supposed to be seen because you are not supposed to see your own legacy. But in other times, there is no there is no shame to ask to see what can be after what your work is done.
I can agree for sure about this point. Like the main objective of me having the program here, and it will be, of course, as a huge step stone for me in the career, and like I will, of course, I am planning and hoping, of course, with all the support we can be of a better place, better. Like better, of course, as a improvement and like to be ahead in your career also. Like this, I am very maybe I'm very hopeful that I can do both of them. Like the point of passion, this psychology things, study and so on, and of course of getting ahead in my career. Like yeah, this was on the first item of the checklist. Yeah, I need to do it.
Hmm. Talking about checklist, first I need also to disclose I was very happy that you accepted to be one of the guests for the
Thank you,
podcast.
Sophia, for having me.
Yeah, because I have to say that the conversion rate in certain latitudes can be a little difficult, and these have been one of the constraints that many people want to do the podcast, but they want to do it on Zoom, or other people say they cannot. I would like to explain why I won't do this in person. Right now, we have two people on the same camera, so they can read the body language and they can also see the reactions right away.
Yes.
When you do it in a platform that has like two cameras divided, you see two different backgrounds, and sometimes you don't see what is the whole experience. This resembles too much the example of the Lamborghini dealership by Bill Owlet. He is a professor of entrepreneurship, and he mentions in that example that you have one product. Don't expect a Volvo to come here and do work for them. Try to keep your product defined, try to keep your experience defined, but at the same time, you have to work harder to find who is going to be your likely customer, your likely target audience. So that's why some people were sending an email like, well, let's do it on Zoom, and it's like, we don't do it on Zoom, we just do it in person, at least for the moment, until we get a better studio or something like that. Which, by the way, what you think about the studio? It's like the bridge, and then you have the ceiling. It's kind of nice, I have to say.
So I like the background, and as I told you, we did our photo shoot for our cohort here also. It was very nice. The lightings and the place and the architecture, everything is very nice for me.
Uh-huh. Even some Malaysians say that this feels so different from the normal standard. They say this is the Kasana standard on behalf of the Kasana Sovereign Fund. And it's like, okay, whatever you say, I'll believe that. Yeah,
It's a beautiful place.
and also the outside. A lot of people go there for walking. A lot of people go there for exploring. Or I hear that you are also in like a walking club or something like that. So tell us about it.
Uh, Not much of an active group, of active member actually in the group, but like I'm trying, and I can say because of like having to enjoy a lot of solitude here in Malaysia, I need to like to go back to my passion, to go and remember literally, and this is for everyone who is not trying to still discover his or her own passion. I would just say I heard it from a lot of so sorry. I heard it from a lot of mentors, a lot of people, and like a lot of readings also I did. And simply, it's like it can be believed that what you used to love as a kid, as a child, it simply it can be your passion. And for me, as a kid in like the first grade or something, I used to love to run. And for me, these places, all these wide open areas, actually the nice tracks and so on, it can be like a very encouraging point to like to be back to what you used to love. So I would love to continue in it and to walk, and of course I got some more fitness and so on. I like to be back to running, but it's a lovely place actually to walk, and having the botanical gardens very near for us, it's a very nice opportunity to enjoy the walk in the nature. We all missing a little in the cities and the crowded areas of some.
Yeah, this is beautiful because all of a sudden it's like you are about to write a book, The Passion of Mariam, and the 10 steps to go back to running.
To go back to and maybe everything you enjoyed when you
Yeah.
was a kid, yeah.
Yeah, that's really good. And to be honest, that can be a book that you can sell.
Yeah, of course. I'm willing maybe at some point to write a book, but it will not be very soon. I need more years in life.
Or maybe more experiences in life, or
Yeah.
maybe both of them. Who knows?
More years, I think it's like it have to come with more experience, because every day, even with not much accomplishments, as I can say, it adds something to your experience. So enjoying life, having to live the life itself is having even a peaceful day with not much events going is in itself an experience. That's what I used to believe actually. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so maybe some more lives, some more experiences. Yes.
It's true. It's through so much life or so many lives. Sometimes with so many experiences, people believe that, oh, this person has been living so many lives, and that's what sometimes happens when some people we happen to chat, and they say, how old you are, Fabian? Is really that? Like you have so many lives, and it's like, yeah, it's fine. Experiences and years. That's a perfect blending. Talking about blending and talking about things, we know that in Malaysia, and it's maybe one of the most diverse places in Southeast Asia, that I don't see this happening in any other country so easy. What happens in Egypt? Is this diverse? How is like?
Um, in Egypt, like I think every um, every person is like, yes, I cannot say it's like very diverse as I can see in some places like as for Emirates, Dubai, or even here, but like we have very diverse nationalities living in Egypt actually, and I can feel, and I'm sure they're enjoying it, because the culture there is like is not to be named as just inclusive, but it's like very diversified, and literally you can do anything and anything you want in Egypt. You have the history, you have the nightlife, you have the professional areas, you have the food tourism, and like the food is very important for us Egyptians.
Oh,
Like you
okay.
literally enjoy all the Eids we have talked about for Christians, Muslims, any other nationalities. Like I guess everything is enjoyed through food. Like you
Ah,
are enjoying any Eid, any Christmas, any Ramadan, anything just through food. Every person is gathering on a big table and sharing food, and like this is for me this is very inclusive, very enjoyable, very human connecting humans mainly. So yes, you literally can find everything in Egypt.
that's that's very cool. And it's like you should go and try. And you mentioned a place that I need to ask you about it. And I guess most of the people who read some story also wants to hear about it, but they have an Egyptian here. Alexandria. Tell me about Alexandria.
Uh, Alexandria is, I believe it's a very beautiful city with its own huge fan club, because like every person in Egypt is simply love Alexandria. I am for the club who loves Alexandria in the winter when it's a little bit less crowded, not much people like enjoying the summer and the sea and so on, like because uh, we are a lot of people, but like Alexandria in the winter for me is just it's something different. It's very has its own feeling, has its own mood, and the atmosphere is very different and very lovely. And I would like for me, I would stay the whole winter in Alexandria if I were in Egypt.
Oh, that's that's very singular.
It's
Yeah, and also very encompassing because other people who only see memes in the internet they will believe Alexandria is only a library. No, it's more than that.
it's more than that. Actually, it's also have a lot of places to visit. Like the library, of course, we're in Yud, it's the old lost Alexandria library, and it's a huge place architecture. Actually, I didn't had the chance to visit it, but like it's one of the best, one of the very recent checklist to be done, and Alexandria is having a lot of places to eat also. Like every whenever you meet an Egyptian, he will tell you whenever you go to Alexandria, you should try this and this and this ice creams and this fish seafood place, and never go to Alexandria without trying this and that. This most of it about food. for us, like but the beaches and the places and the historical places also. It's a full experience.
I guess I should start planning a vacation there. And you say winter is between November and February, right?
Yeah, exactly. But like for winter, I can also make a good recommendation of also visiting Luxor and Aswan because they are more warm, something that you're missing a little in the winter. So it's a very warm place, of course, very beautiful also. Like I had once a Nile cruise trip back there, and it was unforgettable. Actually, literally, you can say honestly you enjoyed every second of it because all the places, all the temples, all the statues, of course the magic of the pharaohs and everything, and the Nile.
Oh,
You should drive like visits from the north to the south, like maybe just um, distribute your time. If it will be 2 weeks, like have it 1 week here and one
oh,
week.
wow. Yeah, I mean, not being prisoner all the time because we know what is going on with the currency of Egypt, and some people who has dollars may find this a good time.
Yes.
But independent of the economic situation, geographic and historical situation marks this very unique. Like you should pass by. It's like
Of course.
a friend of mine, and I can call right there Sixto Chang, a friend of mine. He was in the visiting the pyramids like many years ago, and he was like totally stunned. Like he couldn't believe that there was things built thousands of years ago, and likely after he expires, those things will still be there, and it's like
Yes.
it can be speechless. The feeling can
Mm-hmm.
be speechless.
Yes, and we had these events of the mommy's granite, and I just said like ancient Egyptians, they just believed to be in the afterlife and to be eternal, and like they had it. I guess for me, for being remembered and glorified after all these years, after being literally dead, they had it. They had their goal done already. It was very beautiful, and you know, you should come to Egypt. Yes, it has everything. Yes. The history and the present also.
Mm, yeah, that's true. Now, about things that you mentioned that Egypt has everything. What do you what do you want that Egypt has better?
Um, mm, 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 mm. It's a critical question. I wanted to have better, of course, better economy, seeing the recent evaluation and so on. Like, and I believe we're working our way into this. Maybe not very near, but it's happening. Maybe it's taking its own time, but I believe in a better future, even for. So sorry. So sorry. I As I was saying, I believe in a better future, even though we're having this distress. Like, okay, we are in a trouble. A lot of people facing like, okay, high prices and so on, and uh, these devaluations. But I believe it's gonna end peacefully. It will be better soon. Yes. So that's a belief, not a very something to say and like yeah it will be fine. No, no, I believe from my heart it will be better. Maybe not in the 2 or 3 coming years, but after it will pay off and be better.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, that's true. I remember there was a quote. I don't remember the. I guess it was Victor Raspberry or something that he mentioned. Why to care about having more? They want better. And yes, sometimes the pursuit to have something better should not hurt. Talking about other things that has been going on recently. Here right now we are having the experience of the monsoon season, a lot of rains. Is there is a particular season that people should be aware when they visit Egypt?
Um, Actually, and due to the climate change, yes, the winter is getting more cold than ever.
Time out. So you're saying that because of the global warming, the winter is getting colder,
Yes, and also the summer is getting more
hotter.
warmer. Yes,
Okay,
yes,
okay,
it's
okay.
to be the more extreme weather. Yes, because I don't recall we had these cold winters nor these very hot weathers because like we used to in the summer would be very enjoyable uh, temperatures like it's very just warm but like it's a very but and still it's still most of the summer is this but like with some peaks of high temperatures but like the winter yes I would not recommend to come in a rainy season because like okay the road to some cities by the side it can be a little closed or something due to the flooding or something but it's not happening just happening rarely not very frequent but it can happen in the winter like for me the best times to be in Egypt is will be between April and June and from September to November also. Yes, this is a seasons with the most enjoyable weather. You are sure you are not face much high temperature or nor rainy season with not much infrastructure ready for it.
Yeah, something that I can recall as well is that at least here in Malaysia, you should avoid December because of the rains, floods, all those things. In the northeast and also some part of the south, February. And it's not because of Valentine's Day that everything is expensive and the chocolates are expensive and the hotels are expensive and you know what else is expensive. It's because the snowstorm can be so powerful. Some places are without power, like no electricity. And on the south, the structure is not ready for that. 1 inch of snow stops all the supply chains.
Yeah.
And you will see ice on the road and people is not familiar to drive. Nobody has a chains to put on the tires because they are not supposed to have that to begin with. And those I would say places to and times not to go.
Yeah.
Maybe
We are facing like 5 days from February in Boston. Like likely it will not be that bad.
wow, that's impressive. Now, as we are moving forward, and the reality is that you want to build, there will be some young Mariams right here watching this episode. So I would like to ask you, what piece of advice you will give to your younger self?
uh, my younger self is okay. It's a deep question still. Um, I would say to move on. Um Move on from any mistakes, any bad decision, any bad decision or choice, of course. Like just move on and to be sure of this, like this famous quote, like life is not what happening, it's like about more about how you react to what is happening. And like yes, this should be clear enough for me, maybe earlier, but I guess every day we are learning something new, and to be to believe really still in the point that says it's never too late. Because for me, having this master's actually after like a lot of years of graduation and like the the, the famous track is like you had to end your studies, you end your college, had your masters, and maybe then your PhD if you're very well into the studying mood. So and and me said and yeah after this years no I don't think I will do it. But yes, no, it's never too late. It's everything is doable, um, and you will not do this and you will not feel it till the moment you're literally doing it already. So this would be the piece of advice for myself, and of course more self-love and more caring for your health and like not to burn yourself in something, like not work, not given problem, given life problem or whatever. Just to be more present, to be more not very involved. Just mind your how do you act. Still need to learn it. I'm still learning it. Yes.
I cannot find a better way to conclude our episode with this powerful message. Before we leave, how people can find you? Are you on social media? Are you on LinkedIn? Are you writing a book or something?
No, I'm not writing a book. It's not very, not in this 2 or 3 coming years, I guess. It's not the plan. But for me, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Instagram, okay, even Facebook, but I'm not very present on it. It's Mariam Mounir. This is the first name. This is for LinkedIn, I guess.
Wow. We really appreciate it. Thank you very much for doing this.
Thank you so much.
And for everybody out there, please stay safe and see you when I see you. Bye.